Prepare for the show. Prepare for the show. Prepare for the show.
Prepare for the show, 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 prepare for the show.
Prepare for the show. Prepare for the show. Prepare for the show.
Prepare for the show.
Prepare for the show.
Prepare for the show, yo, 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 yo. Prepare for the show, yo, 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 yo. Prepare for the show, yo, 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 yo.
Imagination runs wild, heart soars free, eyes behold wonders, ears listen elegantly. Oh, the excitement this world brings, orgasmic redundancy.
Talofa Talk, everybody. Welcome back to the Wefobz Podcast Season 3. I'm your host, Chief Lock, alongside my also producer and co-host, Guy So Smooth. Today's conversation is a powerful one because we're talking about identity, language, storytelling, culture, and what it means to preserve who we are while building a path for future generations. Our guest today has dedicated years to educating, inspiring, and reconnecting Pasifika communities across the world through media, language, entrepreneurship, and storytelling. He's the founder of Pasifika Pages Talofa Talk, a Samoan language instructor at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, a business training instructor with the Urban League, entrepreneur, DJ, and documentary creator whose work has reached audience internationally. Recognized for pioneering the use of social media to launch Samoan language and culture, he continues to build platforms that help preserve Pasifika's identity in today's digital world. Please help us welcome William Fanene. What up, Oos?
What up, Oos? Man, what an introduction. Jeez.
Bro,
That's what's
that
up.
resume is impressive.
Hey, man. Hey, you just got to keep moving. That's it. Then you don't even realize, like, oh, wow. So that was news to me when you said all of that. Like, oh, wow. For real? I did all that. Okay, sir. That's what's up.
Will, man, welcome to the Wefobz podcast. So, I always like to. I always like starting from the beginning because every journey has a foundation behind it. Before the platforms, before the teaching, before the recognition, there was a young William trying to figure out life and identity like everybody else. What was it like growing up Afakasi, and how did that shape your identity growing up?
So, well, for me, I'll speak for me because, I get a lot of, DMs and people will tell me like, wow, that was my same journey, but for me in particular, I didn't know I was Afakasi, because, until people remind you like, oh, okay. So, and that could be like, the traumatic part of it because I grew up Samoan most of my life, until like maybe 18, 19 when I left and I came to the Midwest. But the rest of my life, I grew up in the Samoan church, around Samoan people, around the language, the culture. And then, there's times where it's like, oh, wow. Oh, yeah, I'm not, I'm not all the way. I'm something else as well. Over time, I learned, yes, I'm just Samoan, but I'm also Black American, but before it was like, oh, yeah, people remind you in negative ways, and sometimes it's like they just let you know, oh yeah, you're not all the way this, you're not all the way that. But with that comes insecurities, and it could also come like what do they call that, imposter syndrome. Like it's all kind of stuff that comes with being part of two different cultures. And but when you grow up thinking that, okay, I'm just a Samoan, and then you realize, oh wow, and people are reminding you in negative ways that okay, yeah, you're no. When they get mad, that's okay. I'm gonna remind you now. This is the time to tell you Afakasi. And so, um, like I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes with that, but for the most part, I don't regret any of it. I love my journey. I love even the trauma part because it helped me grow as a person. It helped me see things that other people don't see, I guess, because they'll sit back and say, why do you think like that, and I'll just tell them, I was in two different environments and I was able to see this, I was able to see that, and from that I'm able to discern, BS. I don't want to yeah, I'm able to see certain things, and I guess it kind of got me to the point of where I'm at today. Well, we can get into that. I don't want to belabor that point, but yeah, that's what it's like growing up Afakasi.
Yeah, we had this is episode 5, and 2 out of the last 4 were also Afakasis and Samoan and white, and they went deep into that, and they did mention as well to the trauma part of it, and that lingers throughout the journey of recognizing or trying to discover identity. Right, they're trying to figure it out, and it was really encouraging to hear it from their end and to express that, because coming out to the States, you don't realize that there's some type of similarity, because the connection actually connected with the whole Afakasi thing, right? And it's crazy because I think we're first time really focusing on that and giving a chance to our Afakasi brothers and sisters who come on our platform to recognize that. Looking back now, what parts of your upbringing do you appreciate more as an adult now, recognizing all these things?
I guess as an adult, you mean like growing up off Kasi, like the I guess the things that I appreciate is even the bad parts when people point out like, okay, yeah, uh you're well, the word meuli, like
Yep, yep.
meuli. So like, okay, before, I didn't even think nothing about that. That's just the word. That was the name for it. But then like the more you learn about stuff, it's like, well, damn, why am I Meuli? But this guy is just there's a Palangi and there's all these different kind of things. But then you start putting things together. So even though it was bad, I appreciate being able to like learn the differences between um why this part, because it all it did was make me look more into history and figure out,
Mm,
because I just kind of felt like I knew everything just from my own personal upbringing in the Samoan church and in Samoan culture. But then it's like, okay, now I need to look beyond that, because there's a reason why I'm called Meuli, and there's a reason why they call them Palangi, and there's a reason why there's Blackbird. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff I wouldn't even have looked in that. So I do appreciate, even though it was negative, all of that was a negative thing. It made me look deeper. And
mm.
once I started that research process, I just kept going. And even today, I'm still looking further and further. And but yeah, I think that was, to answer your question, that was the part that did it for me. Like I appreciate that the most.
Who were some of the people or experiences that shaped your perspective early on growing up?
Early on, man, to be honest with you, like the gangbangers, the Samoan gangbangers that was around me, I'm not even gonna lie, like I never understood any of that stuff. But I wanted to be like them because I just wanted to fit in, so they kind of shaped how I thought, but in a way, because I was also like the outsider. And when I would look at them. I never understood why Samoans got involved in that lifestyle. Like, we have family that everybody, like most of the time it was like a mom and dad was right there. Then you got brothers and sisters, and you got cousins and aunties and uncles. Grandma will come out and fight, and everybody. So what are you doing? What are you doing with this activity over here? So
Bro, he said grandma will come out and fight. Yeah,
hey, I seen it.
we
I seen it.
remember.
I seen it. Yeah. And grandpa will too, but like I actually seen grandma like with the broom come out and slippers, like like you'll get it. So but um they're the ones that kind of shaped how I thought, and I was able to pull myself back and just look at all of that. Like I don't even understand why are you a blood in the crib? You just came from church. Then you got, there was this thing like they were going back and forth with the Tongans for a while, and I'm like, for what? Like,
Yeah.
so even though it was a negative thing, I was able to pull the positive out of it. I just
Mm,
step out, and I do that even today. Step out of whatever it is that's going on and just look at it. Initially, even if I'm talking and I'm involved and I'm in the middle of it, even with social media, I'll step back. Okay, I talked for a little while. Let me step back. Let me shut up because things ain't looking right. So and then I just gain a new perspective. And I like that. Just being able to grow, stop, because I know for a fact I don't know everything. So I want to step back and just say, okay, I was wrong about that, or I'm growing in this area. And
yeah.
that's what I appreciate the most, is just being able to continuously grow. Um but yeah, to answer your question, it was the people that had it, in my opinion, they had it wrong. They got
Mm,
away from the Samoan roots. They got here in America, and was like, okay, we're gonna participate and do what everybody else is doing. You already got your own thing.
yep.
You already got your clothes. You got your attire, you got your culture, you got your customs. Don't get involved in that,
Yeah.
and but that's what they were doing. And that's really why I left from over there. That's why
Okay.
I got away from the West Coast and got to the Midwest because I didn't want to go to jail. I didn't want any parts of that lifestyle. So that's really why I'm doing. And I've been here ever since. I've been here for a long time. Every time I went back home, I was like, okay, I'm back on the airplane. I'm outta here. When you guys catch up, I'll be back.
I think a lot of people can relate to trying to figure out where they belong while balancing multiple identities. What
Mhm.
advice would you give younger people still trying to figure that out today?
Well, I think even if you have multiple, you could be black, you could be Samoan, whatever it is you're mixed with or whatever, don't even matter. Just be yourself. Find yourself, and then whatever that may be. That means something different for every single person, but just be
Yeah.
authentic to that. And once I was able to be authentic to myself, because before I was looking for validation from Samoans. Then when I
Mm.
came over here, I was looking for validation from black folks. And even when I came here, so you know, when they see me, they see a black dude with a skirt on, with flowers on it. So with flip flops on, with thong flip flops at that. So over here, they didn't know what that was. So when I came over here, I'm like, okay, well, let me go ahead and put my jeans on. I can't afford Jordan, so I'm just gonna buy me some different kind of shoes or whatever. But I was like, man, this ain't me. Once I was able to embrace it, like even though I live here, like outside of St. Louis, Missouri, on the Illinois side, Southern Illinois, I'll go to Walmart or whatever store I'm going to. I have a lava lava on. I got lava lava on now. I just came back with a lava. I don't care. Once you get to that point of self recognition and acceptance, you everything just life just is great, and it
Wow.
was like that over in even when I was go around my family over there, I was always looking for validation from them. But
Nice.
now it's like, okay, I don't need to be whatever it is you guys are doing over here, Bloods and Crips and all, whatever you guys. And I'm only using I hate to say it, but the people that I knew, which is a lot of them were my family and the neighborhoods that I grew up in. Um, but you know, that's not for the all of Pasifika, people. But
Right.
for where I went back to, I was like, what are y'all doing? I'm just gonna be myself when I come back. You can call me a nerd, you can call me whatever it is you want. I don't care. So once I figured out that that was me. I accepted myself, regardless of being black and Samoan. That's
Yeah.
that's irrelevant, kind of, because I just wanted to know who I was, and once I was able to express that, that's where I found my comfort.
Yeah. One thing I noticed about your journey is that it doesn't fit into one box. You've touched music, education, business, media, language, and storytelling. That creative energy has always been there. How did music and DJ culture influence your creativity and worldview?
Um, I mean, well, as far as like the DJing thing, I just kind of stumbled on that. I guess stumbled on all of this stuff, but like I was just playing music one day for my wife's friends and they were like, "Oh, you should be a DJ." And I was like, "Wow, because I know a whole bunch of different genres like, I grew up in the 80s and I knew like the pop and like pretty much any country music, like hip hop, all of that stuff. So now I mix it all together and all, everything. So uh I don't know. I think it's just a part of me, really, just because I grew up in all of that. So, um,
You got the
hip hop
silver
swing.
ears, bro. You knew the music
I
that
guess.
people love.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Now, I don't really know. It's just part of me. So I love music, and that's the way I choose to express myself. So lately, I just been getting gig after gig. Being able to play music. I could do that all day, literally.
Nice.
So, yeah, I don't really know how to answer that. I just love music. So, and being able to share it and being able to read like parties and energies, I think that's really what it is about music. Like you can take an energy. It doesn't matter who's in the crowd and it's like, okay, I'm gonna play this, and then as you get a instant feedback from it. If
Mhm.
I get a rush off of that. Some people get rush off of bad stuff like drugs or whatever. That's my drug. I like to be able to I like to give, and if I give it energy and I get something back from it, that's I could do that all day, and music
Yeah.
helps me do that.
What similarities do you see between music and language preservation? Because I know that's important.
Man, that's a deep one. So
Yeah.
well, I'll just say this for language preservation, period. That was part of the insecurities that I had growing up because I'm like, man, I'm around someone all the time. I still don't know, I still don't know how to speak the language, but um, I, it was just that became something that I had to do. I had to figure out how to speak the language. So I was in my 30s before I started understanding Samoan like line for line. But before that, it was just like, of course the bad words and
Mhm.
the just little thing, oh yeah, like fi, like little stuff like that that anybody could pick up. But once I was able to like, okay, break things down and then mix it together. Okay, we're going back to the DJ stuff. I was able to mix this stuff together, like, okay, this sentence and that sentence. And once I was able to put the sentence structures together, that is where I was like, oh, now it's making sense. Because a lot of times people speak slang and it doesn't really go word for word. And I more so teach word for word, like
Mm.
in the Tusi Pa'ia, like, okay, this phrase structure plus that phrase structure. This is how the formal language is taught and spoken. But when it comes like to like slang someone, people, language is alive. It's always
Yep.
moving. It's constant. But, so when I was trying to teach this stuff online, that was one of my main challenges, like, when I teach it online, you'll have people in Samoa say, "Oh, we don't say that, that's not even a word," and then but I got it straight out of the book, like, "What are you talking about? This came straight out of the dictionary," and, so, and that's the same thing with music, it's like, things are always fluid,
Yeah.
so, I always just try to, like, especially on the internet, bring everybody together at the same time. And listen, if you don't understand what this is saying, well, they understand it over here. So I'm going to introduce you to something new that maybe they don't say in Samoa, but they're saying it. The Samoans in New Zealand are saying it.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of people don't understand that Samoan it is spoken differently, and it's not very, very different, but there's things that people say in different parts of the world in Samoan. There's phrases,
Almost like as
quote
if
that
it's different dialects, and I respect
yeah,
that. Like
dialects.
a lot of people don't pick up on that. That the
Right.
Samoan is different in Western Samoa. The Samoan is different in New Zealand. Like exactly as you
Right.
said. The other thing
Yep.
which is cool about you yourself, when you check him out, is that you approach the teaching of the Samoan language through the English
Mhm.
approach, which is
Right.
very unique. Very unique.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, yeah, so I kinda did it, that way purposefully, and really I was targeting the people that, are, disenfranchised from Samoan culture. So, like, a lot of people, they'd be like, that you have to say it like this, you have to say it like I'm not even talking to you. So eventually I had to get to that point where like y'all super Samoans, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who grew up like me that had
Yeah.
these same insecurities. They were in, off in the corner, like, because somebody told you, oh, you're not Samoan enough. So then okay, we step back. I'm talking to these guys. These are the ones that, we want to learn the language together with no shame, with no without being put down and stuff like that. We just want to learn, that's it. So
Mhm.
and what would get me was that people were like, you could do this and you could do that. No, you could have did it
Yeah.
10 years ago. You could do it right now, but you choose not to do it. You just choose to
Yep.
go in the comments and talk stuff, Keo.
Mhm.
You just choose to do
To,
that
to
instead of like
criticize
help.
them for well, instead of
Yeah.
helping them.
Yeah, just help. I don't understand that. That's the same thing like with the gangster stuff. Now you want to be gangster in the comments. I don't understand none of that cuz you could
Yeah.
easily just help. And how much further along we would be as a whole people. You know, if you okay, oh, that's even if it's wrong to you, it could be like I said, we could be saying that in the States, or we could be saying that in Europe, or we could be saying that in Sweden, or I'm sorry, you know, somewhere it's different. So just share. If you share and
Mhm.
help people as opposed to cutting people down. Oh, you're not you Afakasi, you know, you whatever it is. Just help people. I don't understand. And that's really the
Yeah.
nature of Samoan people is to help and to share. And even people on the outside, they'll say, man, that's they're the nicest people in the world unless you make them mad, blah, blah, blah. But except to each other. So when it comes to each other, oh, you just automatically we're in the comments talking bad about you. I don't get that stuff. There's a lot of stuff I don't get. So again, like I said, I just step back and say, okay, well, I'll come I'll come back when people figure this out. But
I like
yeah.
to think that well that's what the focus and the theme of this season 3 is, really giving the space for creative artists like yourself and like art like us as well too. Do you think creativity naturally exists with Polynesian communities?
Man, yes, and all throughout Pasifika, like people can sing, the creativity, even with like there's a lot of DJs that mix music like with reggae and hip hop and country. Like there's so much creativity, and I think it's gonna happen in the near future where it's like there's something that's just gonna really pop, and it's gonna be all throughout. It's gonna be a representation of Pasifika, and that's gonna happen really soon, I believe. So yeah, I forgot the question, but I'm excited about that. So that is gonna happen soon, I believe.
Yeah, because that's really a lot of everyone that we're interviewing don't realize that the whole point of me actually trying to reach out was the sheer pursuit of creative artistry, if that makes
Hmm.
sense, right?
Yeah.
Because as an artist, we are constantly creating like content creation,
Hmm.
music creation, mixing and mastering, and then as Samoans, we merge all that stuff together and create this beautiful thing. And for the most part, because of our culture, it seems like we all have one common thing: trying to bring the culture, the Fasamo, the respect amongst each other, make it
Hmm.
make sense,
Right.
and just kind of balance it out. How important is storytelling in our culture from your lens?
That I mean, even when they're lies, right? When even when it's the BS. Like I've heard so many stories, but um that when I first came on like TikTok and even Instagram before I stopped posting on Instagram, like a lot of my stuff was storytelling because that's just how we communicate. You
Yeah,
sit down, hey man, hey that Junior. Yeah, and then you just go into it could be
go with
true,
it.
it could be, you put some spices on it, put a little whatever, but that's just how it's a major form of communication. So when I was doing that, like I didn't realize that, people were really connecting with that.
Yeah,
So it's not just our community, so it's also outside of the community. I think they were like, man, I think they like storytelling too. So everybody likes a good story. And that's one thing that like I think all throughout Pacifica we like a good story, and no, I don't think anybody can tell stories better than
I like
better
that
than
you said
someone.
even when they're lying.
Yeah, yeah, man. I heard so many. It's like,
Every
oh, come
someone
on.
understands what that means.
Right.
Even when you tell
Yeah.
a big fish of a story.
Right. The big peperos. Yeah, all the peperos.
I'm not afraid of it.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Well, come
Yeah.
on, that's only man.
Oh
Sorry,
man.
no, I got used.
Well, also,
Right. But
Oh,
yeah.
that's amazing.
I'd like to add this too, because both of you were talking about art, right? I think it also goes to an effect because now that we're talking to Will, his experience as a DJ, I think it's also with our people and the Pacifica in general, the rhythm of life. They're able to catch a rhythm.
Hmm.
I think that, and that's what really speaks through in the creative arts. Don't you guys think so?
Hmm.
Like, and
Man,
Yeah.
With
absolutely.
you, Will,
So
you got a lot of rhythm, bro. A lot.
okay, all right. I like that.
He
I like
does.
that. But so I mean, even so, here's one of the connections that I make, especially like between the Black American community, even African, Samoan. Like it's when you put on a good song, everybody, there's no stiffness. People gonna they're out. They don't have to be drunk or nothing like that. It's just we're
Yeah.
out, and the like the background singing. I like when even like with Afro beats, like a lot of
Yeah.
those
Love
songs
Afro
where you have
beats.
people there's like people chanting in the background. Even the Samoan culture, a lot of Pasifika music is like that, where you have like a big choir in the back. They don't even have to be choir. It's just people singing at the same time, the same thing, and man, the energy that it brings. Sometimes, you know, um, I feel like I'm a what do you call it, empathetic type of person. Sometimes
Yeah.
when you hear that, it's and everybody could be having fun, but it's like there's tears start forming up, and like
Yeah.
oh man,
You
it's
are an
man,
empath. You
that,
feel the
yeah.
synergy of the moment.
There it is, there it is. Yeah, yeah, and it's I gotta go, like, turn around,
Mm.
don't let nobody see your face, but it's, the energy that comes with that, and Samoan music, well, like I said, a lot of Pasifika, music is like that, whereas you just have a bunch of people. It don't even have to be no beat, or like
Mhm.
a drum pattern or nothing, just people, at the same time doing the same thing on the same note, and
Yeah.
man, oh my god, it's like a energy. Once that energy hits, it's hard to keep it for me. I'll just say, like, it's hard for me to keep it together, especially
Uh,
when they're yeah, go ahead, Oos.
no, no, me too. I'm.
I think all
You're
of
right
us
because
as
I.
music connoisseurs, we all understand that feeling, that tear in the eye when it hits.
Right, right. Yeah, man. So I love that about both of my cultures. It's just that
Yeah.
people come together through music, same energy. And once you get that, man, it's oh man.
Right. Well, one thing I really respect about your journey is that you didn't just preserve culture privately, you built platforms around it publicly. You used modern technology to preserve traditional knowledge. How did Talofa Talk and Pacifica Pages first begin?
So all right. Full transparency. Well, I mean, I talked about this on my documentary, but I was already like really wanting to teach the language because once I was so excited about learning Samoan, and I was like, well, this is the way that I learned it. Everybody's not going to learn it the way that I learned it. I learned it like sentence structure, and I just was like, okay, I want to share this. I'm going to put this out. So I was already working on something, but at that time, I was kind of considered a drug dealer. So I was I was selling
Gotcha.
these pills like, and they're all over the place. Like now they're all over the place. But in 2014, 15, 16, like you couldn't get them like that. I was getting loads of them, like
Mm.
boatloads of this stuff. And so I was like, well, I can't keep doing this. I already know I don't want to keep doing this. And it's in my documentary where I messed up and I ordered a big load, and then all of a sudden I was under the radar and I was, being watched. But before that, I was like, okay, I just want to get a little bit. And then I want to get into Talofa Talk. And it wasn't called
Mhm.
Talofa Talk at the time, but I want to get into teaching people Samoan. So once after I got found out, I got raided and so forth. They when came busted me, and then I immediately the next day, okay, they took all my stuff. I'm teaching Samoan. So my very first Instagram post was the day before that I got raided by the feds. I got raided by the feds. So well, no, I was already posting on there, but it was my very first Samoan Instagram post. I put it like that. That's when
Mm.
the day before that I was raided by the feds, and then so I just was every single day. I was like, okay, I'm gonna show people how to learn, the way that I learned Samoan.
Bro, so
Some people
you literally did something others would call negative, but you were always looking at the positive side of it. You were trying to do something positive, but you needed the funds. So that's why you
right. Yeah, so that's
go ahead
exactly
and
what
did
I
head
did.
on your shoulders. So your good intentions turned out to put you under the Fed's radar.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate. But so when I decided to go that route, like I did that. The, I got lazy because once you start getting like, if you can say, okay, I'm wake up, I'm make 10,000, you make however much money you want in a day. I just got lazy, so I just kept dragging it on when I was gonna stop. And when things started, you can feel when like people watching you, like people are looking at you, and everything that I started seeing like in the movies, and I was like, okay, that's movie stuff. That's never gonna happen to me. It actually happened to me. So when when I'm in the court and what do you call it? They give you the it's called discovery. When they give you the discovery and they're showing you all of the footage that they have on you and all of the surveillance and all that, I'm like, oh my god, this looks like a movie. It looks like, raw pieces of a movie. And the reason why I decided to tell my story myself is because the news is telling it. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I'm gonna tell my own story. You're not gonna, there was a reason why I did certain things. I got into a bad spot. People
Mhm.
get into bad spots. I didn't hurt anybody, at least I didn't feel like it. And I did what I did. I can't change it, but it was what it was. So um that was my journey.
Along those lines, you can never, even today's world today, everybody knows not to trust mainstream news now. I mean, you
Yeah,
were doing
right.
this ahead of time, ahead of your time. You were dealing with them before this stuff came down the line. Big ups to you for pulling through on that.
Yeah.
Just for a heads up for our audience members,
Right on.
what Will is talking about, he has a documentary out there, which a lot will get to. That's what he's referring to when he's talking about his documentary, which is on Amazon, right, Will?
Right. Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Prime. I guess it's still there. I don't know. I haven't heard. They're supposed to send you checks every so often. So
Bro, it's still there.
I haven't heard from them to
It's still
confirm.
there. I checked.
Okay. All right. Good.
Uh, Will, this is kind of how I stumbled on you. Social media. What inspired you to start teaching Samoan language through social media?
That was the only real way to like get things out. I guess the whole thing was my wife told me. She was just like, yeah, go ahead and just post. I don't like to post. I don't even like this. I had to grow to be the person to speak on the microphone. I always like to be in the back. I'm like, guy, I like to be in the back. I like to produce. I don't want you to see my face. Even like when I was doing a Talofa Talk, before, it was called Mato Samoa or whatever. I went to find other people to do it. I didn't want to do it. So once they were like, I kind of fell out with them because, they were like, oh, it has to be this way, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, well, the only way to get things done is to rely on yourself. So I had to take my own advice and just do it. So, and the only way to do it and get the word out was through social media. Like, and
Mhm.
I'm still uncomfortable with it. I literally have made thousands of videos like over the I guess 5 years or however long I've been online, and every single time I'm uncomfortable. I've never been comfortable making a video and posting a video online. Even like now, I have to like get ready. Like, okay, I'm gonna go do a podcast. I gotta be
Bro, you
okay.
are an
No,
introvert, bro. You are speaking to the choir because Lot and I are
okay,
the
Yeah,
same
I
way.
just
We
came
had to
out.
force
Like,
ourselves
okay,
to do
yeah,
this
I,
podcast, bro.
we're,
okay.
it's
Hey,
the,
yeah, but a lot of times the people that are introverts, they're the ones with the ideas. They're the ones with we're the ones with the ideas, and you're
yeah.
trying to give it to people who have
Facts.
the fortitude to be in front of folks and that sort of thing.
That's why
So
we got to be
and
in the
then
front.
yeah. So the introverts got to learn how to be in the front so that you can get your ideas out the way you want them to. Because I
Mhm.
used to like I produce music like this is several years ago, and like you're working with people that have these egos and like several years I spent several years working with different groups or whatever, and then they'll fall apart. I mean, it's we're human, so they don't get along for whatever reason, and it's like, man, I wasted a lot of time. So I like one time I was producing music for these guys, and they fell out. So I took the music myself and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a Samoan version of
Yeah,
this hip hop stuff. So I
typical
was playing the
Samoan.
guitar. Yeah, I was playing the guitar.
Samoan spinoff.
Yeah, I made some spin-offs, but and I turned my back because I didn't want nobody to see me. So I mean, it didn't work ultimately, but like that was me just trying like to make up my time. Like I wasted a lot of time with you guys, and it's like, okay, well, let me try to figure something out to get some money back. But uh, back to your point, guy, I don't like to be out in the front. Like just like both of you guys.
Yeah,
That's just not me. I don't like to do it.
Bro, your
so
journey is actually our journey as well,
yeah,
because when
exactly.
we built this platform, we literally told ourselves, let's get somebody to to take it for us, and we'll teach them how to
Yeah.
do things. But then when
Mhm.
you realize it, and I think all of each one of us here, you, Lot, me, we realize if you got to do it right, you got to do it yourself.
You
Yeah,
got to
you
do
gotta
it
do it
yourself.
yourself. Yeah. I mean, had I had this thing like with the cartoon like you doing right there, I would have did it like that, and just to see if it's gonna work for me. And if it didn't work, like, okay, I guess
You
I'll just
see,
get
you
on.
understand. You
Yeah,
understand.
That's a typical creative artist, man. That's
yeah.
exactly what it is.
I would have did it first, but it but
Hey,
at the
bro, I
time we
can
didn't have
teach
the
you whenever you want to get
okay.
your own avatar.
When
I'll
you
teach you,
ready.
bro. When you
Yeah.
ready.
Okay, yeah, I might be ready already, but like, because I'm trying to transition out where I'm not, doing all, so much. But literally, like, I was gonna post today. I keep finding excuses like, okay, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to do that, but I don't know, but I
Bro, we
think
feel you. We feel
okay,
you. We
yeah,
understand.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
think a lot of people they just they probably in terms of authenticity, like they want to see the person, they want to feel the person, they want to and so forth. So this might be the way to go. This might be the way to go. Just go ahead and just go and show yourself, and and do it yourself. So
I had to do it after the second season, the third season, and he made me come out of my character. So here
yeah,
I
and
am.
lots of here I am.
Here I am.
Right.
Uh, quick follow up. When you first started posting content online, did you realize how many people were hungry to reconnect with culture?
No, I didn't realize it, but it happened pretty fast though, because people, like I was getting like follows after follows, and I was like, okay, but then it was like celebrities are following all the football stars, like people, that I watch on TV. The Rock was following at one point, and like I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like I'm going back and forth with these people, and I'm like, oh my, this is crazy. And just from teaching Samoan, because a lot of them they didn't know any Samoan either, and then they grew up the same way. So again, that was just me being my authentic self. Just be yourself, and once you put that out there, you never know who is also like yourself, that who's very similar to you. Then those will be the ones that connect with you.
In your case, bro, there is a lot. I mean, I know you say there was a feeling of being validated and belonging, but
Mhm.
man, you're more coconut than coconuts that are on the freaking coconut island, bro. I will tell you that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey, oh man,
Well,
we're the
well, even
American version. It's the American version.
American version, yeah.
This is the
But I mean,
American version.
man, so but the thing is, when you're getting like DMs from all around, I mean, and it's unfortunate. Sometimes you pay attention to more of the negative. Like you might have a whole bunch of good, people like, yeah, keep it up. I love it. But then you'll have one, and it's like for whatever reason, that insecurity, that whatever you didn't get over as a child, and somebody will say that one thing, it's like, damn, and so everything that all those hundreds or DMs,
Yeah.
it's like I'm focused on this one over here. And that brings something out. That happened a lot. So I even posted it a few times, like like man, this guy was just on my comments saying all the like the most rudest stuff. So before I was deleting them. So then I was like, you know what? People need to see how how a jerk acts, how in our culture when they want to put down Afakasi or Meuli or whatever it is. I mean, he was just really going in. And I was like, you know what? I'm not
Not gonna
here's the
delete.
thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna delete no more. And before, like, you're trying to preserve your culture, you're trying to the image of your culture, put it that way. and you're trying to bury stuff. That's how I grew up. You're supposed to bury. Don't let nobody know bad stuff about your culture, your people. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna hide this because this is what a lot of the people who were sending me these DMs, and they're saying these are the insecurities that they have, these are the why they feel the way that they feel. I was like, you know what, I'm going to show other people that this is what these are the type of people that do that cause this stuff in our community, because everyone here that come to my page, they're from our community, but then
Mhm.
you have these folks right here to make them feel like they're not. So that is why before I got off of Instagram, so forth, I was like, look, this the guy. Here's his username right here. Man, they was then they go after him. And I think it's okay to make them feel like what do they say? Like there was a MAGA, like make them make America great again. But then there was like an opposite movement, like make them feel shame again and so forth.
Oh
So
gosh.
that's yeah. So now, yeah, go after these guys and go after them because they're the ones that cause all of these problems in our community. So
Will, did people fully understand your vision in the beginning?
uh I I don't know. Like I said, you have so many people that are contacting you, and for me, like I don't feel like, um, you know, some people that they were acting like, oh wow, you're. First of all, let me say this: it was weird for me to to be in the airport and people running up to me like, oh yeah, you're the guy from that's weird. They're like, I
Yeah.
don't understand that. Like, I just all I did was I posted on my phone. But then, when I go to visit Cali or, Washington State or wherever I went to, and then you have people want to like take selfies with you because so that threw me off.
Mhm.
So in terms of my vision, um, when people were like messaging me and they're like, yeah, I love what you're doing and so forth, that's cool, but I all I'm trying to do is just teach the
Mhm.
language. So it wasn't like a big thing to me. I'm just trying to share. So I do appreciate that people are like, they see it in a way where I don't know how people see it, but I don't think it's like, you know, take a selfie with me type of thing. You know what I mean? It's just me like I'm just any other guy. I just want to share. So in terms of like I don't really know how to answer the question. Like if people saw what I saw, I want everybody to speak the language, that wants to speak the language. So I,
It sounds
I
like the
know.
vision was developing throughout the journey.
Oh yeah, it was never like it was always evolving the whole time. It was always evolving. I didn't have like a business plan where I said, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. That. It was just like I would find something out and say, okay, these people feel left out. I want to include them. Okay,
Mhm.
then I find something else out. These people over here, like they're talking bad about them. It was always evolving, and I always wanted to make sure that everybody felt included. So,
Yeah. What was it like being recognized internationally for your work teaching Samoan language online?
oh yeah, that was also weird. I was like, man, all I'm doing, and I'm gonna say this every single time, all I'm doing is picking up my phone and recording myself, and I'm trying to share. That's it. So when I had the University of London, and they were like, we're recognizing you for teaching folks the language. And there was people, there was some African languages. I think someone from Mexico, and there was another dialect of I think Russian or something like that. So we were all on there and they're like, you guys are the main ones. I was like, wow, the main ones in the world doing this. I you
Wow.
know, I didn't under I
Huge
you know,
milestone.
yeah, I didn't really understand it. So but I mean, I'm definitely grateful for it. But
I mean, you were an
when you just do what
introvert that threw yourself into a world of extroverts where you have
right,
to
yeah.
teach people. I get your confusion,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, yeah, and even now, well, not so much now. Like I said, I kind of withdrew, but yeah, I still don't get it. I don't I don't. But
What happens to a culture when the language disappears?
It's not really, I mean, now you're assimilating to other, the dominant culture. You're assimilating
Yeah.
to what they do. It's not just the language. The language that's like that protects the culture, period. So once you lose that language barrier, then now you're doing what other people do, which is why,
Mhm.
like, I kind of alluded to it earlier. Um, a lot of the people that I knew didn't speak Samoan. We
Mhm.
grew up and we were second and third generation. Actually, a lot of us were first generation. Like our parents barely spoke Samoan. They were, I mean, barely spoke English, but
English.
they were in the military. So
Mhm.
but us as first generation here in America, they, you know, they just automatically assimilated to what was around them because they couldn't speak the language. I feel like it really did have a part to do with, like, if you could speak the language. Well, no, let me take that back because there were some really good Samoan speakers, and they were like the heaviest Bloods and Crips that I ever seen in my life. But um, I do think, like, if you can speak the language, it kind of keeps you insulated a little bit from a lot of the stuff that goes on outside because um you have, there is the religion, there is culture, but the language itself kind of protects you from all of that, unless you're just a really hard-head person like the
Yeah.
ones that come right to my head. um they came here to kind of show out, I guess, and to prove like I am American also, like I can do these American things, and for whatever reason they gravitated toward the bad American stuff. So but overall, language is important to keep you grounded in your
Absolutely.
culture.
Do you think social media can actually help preserve culture if used correctly?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think, I mean, that's what I strive to do. I don't know if I'm doing it right because, like, I'm just moving through it. But if I think if you use, and there's a lot of people that use social media to preserve culture, to preserve language. I follow a lot of them. They do a great job. But if it's not viral content, it has to be drama and so forth. I try to incorporate a little bit of drama with my stuff, just to get, because if you mix it all in together, then you can get out in front of new audiences. So,
Mhm.
but I don't want to put it in a way where I'm disparaging my culture,
Mhm.
or anything like that. So I do want to put the culture and our people in a way where, okay, yeah, I respect them. I want to put it in a respectful way. Um, but yeah, there's a whole bunch of people that's teaching language and culture in a great way using social media, and I highly recommend it.
Mhm. Now you're teaching Samoan language at the university level, which is history in itself. That's a major accomplishment for our people. What does it mean to you personally to teach Samoan at Southern Illinois University, Edwards? It's Edwardsville.
Yeah,
What?
Edwardsville, yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
so, man, that is history, but I didn't, I was looking it up. I was like, "Is this the first one ever around here?" Or like, but I know that there was a brother and sister team, and I think it's in Nevada, or it's somewhere where they're teaching Samoan in one of the universities. But outside of that, there's hardly any Samoans around here, period. So I was like, "Well, why do y'all calling me to teach Samoan for what?" There ain't
Mhm.
even no Samoans around here. But then I'm finding out, so people are enrolling in the class, and I'm
Wow.
like, okay, yeah. So there are Samoans from different places, or they're half Samoan, or whatever. They're wanting to reconnect with the culture. They're like, oh, I didn't know that there was a class like that around here, and
Mm.
there, it's, I think it might be a first, like, really, outside of where Samoans are actually at. So I don't really know,
Yeah, we need to
but it
focus
is.
in on that. It is a first, bro. Can you say where you at exactly? Chicago,
Yeah. So
Illinois.
okay, well, Chicago is north. There are Samoans in Chicago. Like, I think there is a community of Samoans in Chicago. I'm 4.5 hours south by St. Louis, Missouri. So, and then if you go across the river, so there's just like San Francisco and Oakland. If you go across the river and from St. Louis to Illinois, then there's a university called Edwardsville. And in Edwardsville, we have, like, not far from me, there's Scott Air Force Base. there is a SIUE, Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville has a campus over there. So I do believe that this might be the first university outside of like the West Coast, or actually, yeah, past the West Coast, where someone will be taught. So but I don't know for sure. I don't Somebody might have tried to do it, but yeah, this might be a historical thing. I don't know.
It is
Okay.
right here in the Wefobz.
Yeah, we fobs.
Congratulations,
Hey,
man.
we fobs.
He gets it. He gets it.
He
He
gets
said,
it up.
we fobs. Yeah. Yeah, this
Uh,
might be yeah.
I think it is. What has surprised you most about students wanting to reconnect with language and culture?
Actually, it doesn't. I don't know if anything around here. The only thing that would surprise me is that, like, okay, what, you want to learn Samoan? That would surprise me because I didn't even know, like, there's Samoans in my vicinity that I didn't even know about. So, but the only thing that I guess would surprise me outside of that, uh, oh no, none of it surprised me actually, because the people that that feel disenfranchised, they want to connect with the culture, but there's a way that they want to do it, and a lot of times it's away from the people that have disenfranchised them from the culture in the first place. So I always try to make things a safe place, so when people come, and for whatever reason, there's always a Samoan, like a fluent speaking Samoan. Like they want to
Yeah.
they want to come into class, and they want to speak all the Samoan. I was like, hey, we have people here who don't even know Talofa. Let's
Wow.
go step by step. Me and you can talk on the side, but I want people to feel like they can go through this whole thing. But for whatever
Mhm.
reason, people they feel show stuff and all of that. We're not gonna
Mhm.
we're gonna wait. Let's wait. So but in terms of I'm not surprised people want to connect with the culture. That's almost like somebody having a father or a mother or a parent that is like, okay, well, I don't want nothing to do with you. That person wants their parent, regardless of whatever the situation is, they still want their parent. So they want to be a part of that. So with the culture, they want to be a part of the culture, even if they say they don't. That's you. That's your
Mhm.
blood. That's part of who you are. So they want that, and I want to be able to give that to them in a safe place.
That was one of the best explanations I've ever heard of that, bro. Like connecting with your parent. And I think that goes across for many others in other different cultures that have the same experiences as being half caste.
Mm-hmm.
The speaks volumes. Thank you for that.
Oh, thanks,
Oh,
bro.
Will, as a content creator, a business person, your database, do you feel younger generations are becoming more interested in learning who they are?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess it might be kind of similar to the other question. Like, I think people always want to know who they are. Only like if you really like back to the parent explanation. Like, if somebody, a parent does them really bad, then it's like, okay, I don't want nothing to do with that. They nothing to do with that person, their culture, who they are. But I think by default, like, we want to know who we are. We want to know where we come from. We want to know, we want to know our lineage and our history, especially if it's something to be proud of. If it's people, I do know some people that are like, especially now, like, they're learning about the different things that like my guy, my homeboy, he's like, man, my guy, my dad was my dad's family were slave masters and all this kind. He's like, he's like always apologizing to me and telling me like, I'm sorry. It's like, hey, bro, it's not you, but
Right.
yeah, I'm glad you're learning about that. So he's embarrassed by it, but even then, he still wants to know so that he doesn't go down. At least that's why I think, it's like
Mhm.
he doesn't want to go down that same road. So those are the kind of people that I like to associate with, even
Mhm.
bad or good, it's you. So you're trying to figure out, you want to be connected with that, even if you're like trying to disconnect from it, if that makes any
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah. You also work with the Urban League, helping people through business training. How
Mhm.
important is economic education and self development in our communities today?
It's everything because I'll bring it back to Samoans. Like all the not all the Samoans that I know, because there's some that are doing very well. But a lot of the ones that I grew up with, everything is bingo, casino. That's their investment. Okay, my investment is like, okay, I might get it tonight, but even if you got it tonight, you're gonna lose it tomorrow because you don't have the mentality to keep it
Mhm,
up for tomorrow. You're gonna go back to the casino, you're gonna go back to the bingo, you're gonna drop all of it so that you can continue this pattern. So
mhm.
what I try to teach people is like, okay, take the money that you got, figure out what you want to do with it, invest it in something, invest it in a business, start your own business, don't just keep blowing it. I mean, if that's what's make you happy, then great, fine.
Right.
But my business, I guess what I do from day to day is to say, okay, take that money, put it aside, start your LLC if you need one, get your EIN, and I just take them step by step,
Yep, step by
and then
step.
tell them how to invest and do your own thing. So, and that's really what I do there is just, get people to do their own thing.
Mhm.
Aside from everything else, if I were to boil it all down, what do you like to do? How can you make money from doing it? That's it.
It's funny because a guy I remember I mentioned there's a post that we did where people always, when it comes to investing, they're always, or businesses like to promote their stuff and say invest in their business. You're
Mhm.
on the complete opposite side of it, where it's almost rare to tell people to invest in yourself. I think
Right.
that's pretty powerful, right? It puts
Yeah.
the attention more on them and gives them training and learn the discipline part of structure for sustainability and just all the things that just the rewards that come with it. For somebody who feels disconnected from culture or purpose, where should they begin?
If you feel disconnected from everything, reconnect.
Mm,
Reconnect with yourself first. And once you do that, everything else will just fall into place. If you're looking for validation here and there, connect with yourself first. What do you like? What do you like to do? What are your priorities? Prioritize the things that you want to do with your life, and don't even worry about the culture, nothing. Just worry about you for the moment and where you want to be. What do you have? How can you maximize it? Do you if you have a support system, okay, who can I call on um to accomplish my goals? Do you even have goals? Do you have objectives for your goals? How are you going to meet your objectives? Do you even have a strategy? I mean, there's a lot of things that go in with it, but the first thing is connect with yourself, figure out what you want to do, and then I think a lot of people, they jump right to the cultural stuff. They jump, to all of these other things that have to do with other people. So when you've been disconnected and you don't know where to start with yourself. That's
start with yourself.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this earlier. I want to circle back. Um, you mentioned your documentary on Amazon, and I'd love to hear more about that process. What inspired you to create the documentary?
So I thought I was going to prison until 2028. So yeah, I thought so. Like I don't know if they were trying to scare me. I really don't know what the prosecutor was trying to do, but they were like, we're gonna lock you up. You got a RICO charge and all of this. So, and I said this on the documentary too. Like, there were all of these names, William Fanene, William Uso, Will Uso, like all of these. But that's the way that I set it up online. Everybody was me, on the thing. So they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna get all of this stuff." And then I realized when I was, in a disc, I forget what they call it, proffer. That's what they call it, where they want you to snitch on people and all of that.
Mm.
I had nobody to tell on because they were like, "Well, who's this and who's that? And who's this and who's that?" That's me. That's me. That's me. There's a
Yo,
one man organization.
this is a freaking comedy movie in the making. Other than the documentary, you had nobody to tell on because you were all the personalities.
I was everybody. I was all of the names they were trying to figure out. So even I would say things like, I would take my, we would go to the Caribbean or something, and I would say, okay, there's a conference, we're gone. If you want to talk to somebody, talk to Solangaleua, Fanene, or whoever. I didn't know. I was making up stuff. They're like, who is Solangaleua?
And that was you.
Who is that? It was me. I'm just
It's
making up.
me.
I'm
That's such
making
a
up stuff.
coconut thing to do, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, but I was scared at the time because I hadn't even well, no, I did go. I sat in the holding cells, for like non-registration of license and stuff like that. They're trying to figure out who I am. Didn't have, but I never where they were like, "You're going for a long time." So in that situation, I said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just film, what's going on for the final few weeks of my free life, and I'm gonna sell it." So that was my thought. I'm gonna put this, and then hopefully somebody picks it up, and then it'll be able to sustain a financial situation until I get out, from my wife and my kids. And that's all I was thinking about, because it's like, if you're providing, you don't want to not be able to provide, and you don't want to be a burden on nobody. So I made it in hopes that it would generate money to keep them, and that was it. So fortunately for me, I was blessed enough I didn't have to go to jail. I'm still on probation. Like, I have to do, actually, tomorrow, by the 10th of every month, I have to turn in a probationary report, and just say, okay, I didn't associate with felons and stuff like that. Um,
Crazy.
but yeah, a lot of people don't know that kind of stuff, but that's why I did it. Long story short, that's why I did it.
Wow.
Is to provide. That's all.
Ooh. I'm trying to
So,
process all
can
that,
we
man.
get the name of the
Me too.
the name of the
Sometimes I
documentary?
forget
Can we
the
get
name
the
of
name
it
of the
is
documentary?
Nameless. We go back to our introvert thing. It's just Nameless.
Okay, so
And
everybody, Nameless, you'll see it there in the description of our YouTube channel or wherever we're posting up this live. If you want to watch this documentary, it's on Amazon. They're renting it and they're selling it in high definition
Mhm.
format. You can pick it up. Once again, check out our boy Will over there tells you the story. So I can't believe you were all the personalities and they sweated you saying you're gonna
Yeah.
go to jail for each one of these guys that you represented.
Right. Yeah, they wanted me to tell on somebody, but it's like, yeah, those are all me. Everybody's me. So
From the creative perspective, what story were you hoping people would walk away with after watching it?
um at the time I was making it, I wasn't thinking about anything except I want somebody to pick it up, make a lot of money, and give it to my family. That's it. I
Mhm.
didn't really have any other aspirations for it or anything like that. I knew that nobody had told that story before. I knew that like me paying influencers, some of these influencers are like big today. Like, these are people that I saw um like coming up, and I was like, okay, this all this influencer stuff is going to be a big thing. So I won't say his name right now, but like, he's like, some of these guys are doing real good stuff. I was paying them $200, like $300, and but I was making 20 and 30,000, for paying them this little bit to make like a skit. And but that was way before skits was even a thing.
Mhm.
So um, but to answer your question, I wasn't thinking along those terms. I was just like, okay, I want to be able to provide even if I'm not around. So
Do you think documentaries are important for preserving Polynesian stories and perspectives?
absolutely, I would, anybody that has a story to tell, especially even people in Pasifika, Polynesian people, like, if a lot of our stories are not told, and the only way to tell them, not the only way to tell them, but a good way to tell them is to make a documentary and to put it out there, because who else is gonna, if nobody else is going to do it, you can do it yourself. And it's so
Mhm.
easy to do it. Like, I was just, okay, just film it. Okay, now what do I do with this film? Okay, find a distributor. Okay, I found a distributor. And then oh, they liked it? What? Oh, I can't believe that. Okay, now they're gonna put it out. Put it out where? So like before Amazon, there were other ones as well, but there were legal things. Like I couldn't even I didn't, because I thought I was going to prison. I didn't have the I guess, well, I didn't really have the representation to make it go any further than what it did. So at the time. So but yeah, if you're gonna tell a story, I would just go ahead and document it. I mean, now we have software where you can edit it yourself and then put it out yourself. But even if you don't do that, there are ways to get other people. You can shop it around. I still have people asking me about like how to you know put the documentary out and stuff like that. But you do have a lot of scammers that come on. You don't really know who. Like it's a whole nother world that you get into when you're trying to sell a product
Hmm.
like that. And so I found out that there are a lot of people that, oh man, I can get your movie on with Universal, and oh man, you get excited at first like I did, and then next thing you know, it's like, okay, whatever. So but yeah, put them
So
documentaries out.
nice. What stories about our people still needs to be told?
Man, I think there's so many. Like even if I just started right here, like with the gangster stuff, like how do we get involved with with that part of the culture in America? Um, why are we fighting with each other? Even as uh, I see a lot of Samoan Tongan stuff online. Like how does that kind of stuff goes on. There's like Romeo and Juliet. Is it Romeo and Juliet where you have no, not West Side Story. West Side Story is like when you have somebody from this culture and somebody from that culture, and then they get together. Like there's a lot of, there's so many different stories. It's a whole untapped. I don't want to call it market, but it kind of, if you're speaking in terms of
It
money,
is.
there's a whole untapped
Yeah.
market of stories in Polynesia and here in America, the Pasifika, and it's just there's a whole untapped market that people can access. And I think if somebody could explain that to somebody with the money, then you know they'll try to put it out there like Moana, and then everybody be like, "Oh man, that's not how it goes. It ain't like that." But still, it's gonna get out there, and the more it gets out there, the more people will want to hear it, I think.
Yep. I got to follow up. If we don't tell our stories, what happens to our history?
Right, right. Exactly. So we gotta tell it. We gotta put it out there. That was a bomb right there, Lotto.
I wanted to ask you what are your thoughts, like what actually does happen, do you think, if we don't tell our stories?
They just go away. That's it. And then it's like, so for some people, they actually the people that were sending me these DMs, like doing all of this talking, um, for them, it's like we can stay in the bubble, you know. But I don't think that does anything for the world. Like we have a world impact. And but we have to say what we do if we're for other people to understand it. Like we can work in the background. We're not no background people. Like we can be in the background, but there's no reason for us to be making money for all of these other folks and you're not making it for yourself. Even like those I forget the name of the guys. I think one is from Hawaii, one's from Samoa. They be slapping each other, like smacking the hell out of each other, and they're making, do you know how much?
No, I think we lost them.
Guy,
I think we lost the audio. Can we? Will, I think. Can you double check on your audio side?
Okay, it
There
says
we go. We're
attempting
back.
to
We're back. Sorry, we missed
we're
you
back.
at
Oh,
the Samoa slap guys. Let's start off from there.
okay. So there's these guys, they make millions and millions and millions of dollars for Dana White, I think. I think
Yeah, because
he's the
that's
one
his
behind
thing.
all this.
Dana White's thing. The recent one,
Yeah.
the championship, right? You talking about the championship between the Hawaiian guy and the Samoan dude?
Yeah. So, but we can make our own thing slap thing. So you got two guys from Pacifica. Dana White's making the money. What if Samoans did their own thing, and then challenge the world. You want to
Y'all
come over
come to
here?
our base.
Yeah, you think you can beat somebody over here? And why wouldn't they come there if you have the people from Pasifika making this money? But right now, Dana White's making it. Dana White don't even like. He don't. I feel like this is my opinion, and a lot of a lot of people that I know. I don't know. He don't feel like that. Oh, okay, whatever. But if if Pasifika people control all of that, look at the money. It's literally right there. He's the one making it. He's not participating in it. The people that he has that are the champions, they're the ones making it. And who are the champions? Pasifika people. So what if Pasifika people did their own thing? So
Mhm.
I don't think folks really think like that in terms of business and what the potential is, the money making. Like if we put ourselves out in front, a lot of times going back to the point lot, like we put ourselves in the back. That's just we're taught humility, stay in the back, do this. No, sometimes it's like, no, we have to control our stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta control your own thing. But if you don't do it, somebody else understands that, and they're like, okay, well, we're gonna do it. So I can go on and on about that. We can
Yeah,
move.
let's moving on to that part. Getting to know you earlier, you mentioned Pacifica First mindset. I want to close on that because I think it connects everything we talked about today. What does having a Pacifica First mindset mean to you?
To me, Pasifika first means think about your culture. First think about your family. No, go back even more. Think about you. You know how you were raised. You were raised by your family. Think about your family. Think about your culture. And with the culture comes the history. Think about your history. Once you think about all of that stuff, anything else that comes through that barrier or to that barrier, you're able to say, no, this is me, right? And then I'm looking at my family, I'm looking at my culture, I'm looking out for this first. So, and that includes business opportunities, that includes anything that threatens your livelihood, that threatens your family. Going back to the slap thing, if we had a Pacifica first mentality about that, it's like, oh, wait a minute, okay, you're making a whole lot of money from this. We need to be starting our own stuff. I do applaud, like, and I think this might be out in Reno. I forget where it's at, or no, maybe Utah. But there's the Polynesian football camp, or somewhere, because we have people from over here. They actually, one guy made it to the NFL. The Epinesas, we have the Epinesas are like right here. I'm cool with the dad. His son is plays for the Bills, so like he was going out to this camp. What is it? Do you know the camp that was in it's a Polynesian camp. It's over there by you somewhere. But like if we kept that kind of stuff, within the community, kept, and other people are coming to the camp. I think that's something that we need to think about in terms of Polynesian first, or Pacifica first, us first, and start taking ownership of stuff, because that's where you're going to build wealth. That's where we're going to make our own stuff, and that's where we're going to grow as a people, financially, culturally, everything. And outside of outside of Samoa, outside of Pacifica, we're throughout the diaspora. Diaspora is in the world. So recognizing those things and being able to take advantage of 'em. And I hate to say take advantage, but other people are taking advantage of it. So before you take advantage of my stuff, I'm gonna do it,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
not for you to take advantage of. You're not gonna take advantage of me and my stuff and my people. So uh, th- I'm getting mad again because this guy's making a whole lot of money off
Yeah.
of what okay. Yeah, he's making a lot of money off of these guys. And if they're the best in the world, then why don't we have that?
Mhm. What do you think our communities need the most support right now?
Well, that's probably gonna take us to another area, but I think if I'm real big on like looking back at colonization and just seeing like where we went different ways that we didn't in my opinion, we didn't have to go in terms of religion, in terms of self-identity, in terms of politics, like that stuff took us against each other. It took us different ways. Um, like there's a lot of stuff that we didn't have to go in those directions.
Yeah.
So what we in my opinion, I think we just need to just re re reconvene, talk to each other once
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
and just find out where we started and see where we went wrong. And to me, we went wrong a lot of places where colonization had their hand on
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah,
How do we preserve culture while adapting to modern technology and society
to preserve culture while
and adapting
and
to all the
adapting.
modern, all
Yeah,
these new technologies and AI
well,
and everything?
yeah, I think with that is just sharing. So if I think if we just share like the root of the stuff and find out, so like there's a lot of things in the Samoan culture. I know you guys talk to all of Pasifika, but like in terms of Samoan culture, I learned a whole lot of stuff from people that share things directly from Samoa, and then you know from and throughout the diaspora, but like the base is coming from Samoa. But like in terms of technology, connecting that stuff is I just feel like the truth comes from Samoa, Samoa in a lot of ways, and just going back to like the colonization sort of disconnect. That's the only way I could put it. So, um,
Yeah.
technology w- w- it can relay the truth, but a lot of times, like depending on who you're talking to, it's not gonna really convey the truth. I don't. I wasn't trying to rhyme there.
He's rapping.
Right, right. Time to DJ in a minute. So,
um, you, and you seem very humbled, and the vision is really evolving. Uh, but I think for me, I think like bringing you on here is to really give you your flowers for what you're doing and how it's impacting people. Because I mean, it impacted me.
oh, right.
I reached out.
I appreciate
So,
it.
um, I want so next question I want to ask you is what responsibilities come with having a public voice in the community from your perspective?
Man, so going back to being an introvert, like um I always I don't even want to mispronounce words. There's a whole lot of responsibility in just being where people I get nervous when someone sends me a note and says, "Man, I look up to you," or like you really when you said this and then they give me a whole story. So then the next time I come on, I'm thinking about that. And I'm like, That's not what I was trying to do. I'm just sharing my story because, I had the same experiences or whatever. I was just the one that who got on, used my phone and shot it, before people. So I don't feel like I'm anything like what's, sometimes people will say different things. Like even like what you said, like it's not that I feel, I definitely not, ungrateful for it. It makes me feel a little uncomfortable only because that's not what I was trying to do. I just was I'm just sharing my story. But like had you did it before me, I'd be like, man, that's what's up. Man, I'm glad somebody said it. I just think that if you throw yourself out there and just say whatever it is that you want to say, I guarantee you there's a whole bunch of people that feel the same way.
Mhm.
So I just think that maybe starting from 2020 or whenever I got rated, and I did this from a point of I had nothing to lose. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
say what I'm gonna say now because I'm grateful because I could be in prison. I'm grateful because and there's no telling what could have happened. So I'm just gonna say it. So and I think that a lot of people are just waiting on someone to just say it and there's if you look behind you there's a whole bunch of people that want to say the same thing. They
Mhm.
feel the same. They they want to express that same thing that you have in your heart, but they're just waiting on somebody to say it. So I think if we all say it at the same time, there's no you know, nobody has to feel like I feel like right now, like, oh, thank you. It's there's no thank you. It's like, wow, y'all could have said it too. Like we all could say the same stuff at the same time. So
You mentioned wanting people to create their own path and help others along the way. What does that really mean to you?
to me, again, it just goes back to authenticity. So, and me, like we all feel like we're unique, and we are, but like we have so many, we walk the same path in so many different ways. So if you just express yourself, just go ahead and say it. And if you're getting I'll just speak for me. So I was getting all of these DMs and people were saying, "Man, that's me, that's me, that's me." So if you just express yourself, all of these other people will be like, "Man, you know, um, I want to express myself." Well, do it. Just say it. Just do it. So I get a kick out of people just being able to just be who they are, say what they want to say, express, who um who who they are, because everyone thinks like Samo, or not just Samoans, but just Pasifika people. Oh, they're in this one box. No, we're just like everybody else in their own diasporas. We have our own diaspora, and in our diaspora, we have these. People do this, they do that. They might not go down this column. They might go that way. They might go that way. Whatever, that's their business. But if we all just share it and we just say it, um, I think that'll encourage people to take their own path. So that's what I want people to do is just take your own path, live your own life. You only got one life. Were you gonna live it for 1,000 other people or your village or your no, live it for yourself.
Will, what kind of legacy do you hope to leave behind?
Man, I just want to be able to for my kids and people to say, he did his thing. He loved me. That's it. I don't I don't even think about that for real. Like I just want people to say he loved me. That's it. I can tell that he loved me through his actions. That's all. I don't care about
I'm
nothing
going
else.
to try one more time. When people hear the name William Fanene years from now,
Uh
what do you hope they remember?
uh I never thought about that. That's deep. I I think I just want them to remember like he oh, that's the guy that he turned his life around. Like he was doing one thing and then he turned nothing into something. That's it. You know. Um I don't really have anything else to say. He took a bad situation and he wanted to make it good for everybody else. I think I like that. That's good.
Yeah,
That was actually pretty beautiful.
that was.
Right on, right on.
I'm trying to push it out. Come on, brother. Like,
All
you got
right.
it. Well, I got one more for you.
All
Uh,
right.
if somebody watching this episode feels lost, discouraged, and disconnected from who they are, what would you tell them today?
I think if someone felt disconnected from who they are, go lock yourself in a room. However many days it takes. Hopefully, it don't take that long because depression can set in. I've been there. I could just say that. But if you feel disconnected from who you are, I've been there. I think the main thing that I did was just silence. Get peace. With silence comes well, for me, I'll say it like that. With silence came peace and not caring about what anybody else thinks. W- When you start considering other people's thoughts and opinions and about who you are, you're gonna lose your authenticity. Find your authentic self, grow from that. And then once you get that and you're able to say, okay, I don't care what other people think. It doesn't matter what your opinion of me is, and you're able to say that, then you'll be able to grow from that. Other than that, other people's opinions are gonna stifle you if you allow it to. So, and I'm speaking from experience because until I was able to say, I don't really care. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Um, that's when I was able to grow for myself.
Uso, thank you again for coming through and sharing your wisdom, your experience, and your heart with us today. Conversations like this are important because they remind us that culture survives when people are willing to protect it, teach it, and pass it forward. And what you're building goes beyond content. It's impact. Guy, you got anything?
Will, man, like I said, much respect to the hustle that you got going. I really do look forward to everybody connecting more with your content and looking. I definitely want to go and friggin' buy the documentary. I'm gonna pick that up. Thank you for all the words of knowledge you put through, and I can honestly say from our Wefobz side, your journey is a mirror of our journey, and I'm glad that we were able to bring you on. Thank you.
Wefobz.
To everybody watching, make sure you support William Fanene and follow his work. talofatalk.com, siruso.net. He has a TikTok platform. Tusi Pa'ia classes on Learn Worlds. Samoan language program at SIUE. If this episode inspired you, encouraged you, or taught you something meaningful, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this episode with somebody reconnecting with culture, identity, and purpose. This is the Wefobz Podcast Season 3. I'm Chief Lot. Peace out. Love and blessings, everybody.
Yeah.
Wefobz from a far place to the top now. Feel the rhythm. Yeah. Wefobz from a far place. Came with a suitcase, no place to call home. Just a whisper of a dream on a brand new road I roam. The city lights were loud, the language felt so strange. But every stumble, every lesson was a necessary change. They call me fresh off the boat, a label and a just a new beginning. A tough climb, put my spirit to the test. But I held my head up with the fire in my soul. 'Cause